Imagine yourself being unable to walk or see and barely able to breathe. You're in such an unbearable pain that you can't even cry. It feels like your life has no meaning. Why couldn't ending your life be the answer to the pain? Euthanasia should be legalized in Canada as it's about giving people the right on their life, it saves money spent on medical bills, and it also relieves one from intolerable suffering. Euthanasia provides people with freedom of choice, and by refusing people the right to end their own lives, we are increasing that unbearable pain and indignity to a horrifying extent. People should not be forced to stay alive. Neither the law nor the medical ethics require keeping a person alive against his or her wishes. Today's hospitals are overcrowded and have too many patients. If we let those die that do not have a chance of living on, there could be more room for patients with diseases that can be cured. Euthanasia allows the patients to die under medical supervision, and their healthy vital organs can be donated to those in need. This can pave the way for a much better world. Many argue that euthanasia shortens life, but it actually shortens the grief and suffering of the patient and his or her loved ones. A few months ago, Brittany, the 29-year-old who had terminal brain cancer, died fighting for the right of freedom and choice. In April, she got to know the side effects of the disease. The hair on her scalp would have been signed off. Her scalp would be left covered with first-degree burns. Her quality of life would be gone. After months of research, my family and I reached a heartbreaking conclusion. There is no treatment that would save my life, and the recommended treatments would have destroyed the time I had left. I would probably suffer in hospice care for weeks or even months, and my family would have to watch that. I did not want this nightmare scenario for my family, so I considered death with dignity the best option, she said. She was lucky she had the time and money to go for that option. Having that choice at the end of life becomes incredibly important. It gives a sense of peace during a tough time that otherwise would be dominated by fear, uncertainty, and pain. Now I am able to move forward in my remaining days I have on this beautiful earth. And I know that I have a safety net, she said when she got the prescriptions filled. She took a fatal dose of medication prescribed by her doctor at her home, Portland, Oregon, the first state to adopt legalization of euthanasia, a patient's right to die. Hence, legalizing euthanasia is like freeing a caged bird. Saying yes to euthanasia will allow a terminally ill to die peacefully, whereas saying no to euthanasia will lead unbearable suffering to a terrifying point. Legalizing euthanasia will save billions spent on medical care of terminally ill, while stating it illegal will continue to benefit the doctors, not the patients. If I was diagnosed with an incurable disease that requires me to stay in a hospital bed for the rest of my life, where each day is going to be like a living hell, I would definitely turn to euthanasia. After all, who has the right to tell me that I don't deserve this choice? That I deserve to suffer for weeks or even months in tremendous amounts of physical and emotional pain? It's you and me who has the power. In my opinion, death is a private matter. If there is no harm to others, the state and other people have no right to interfere. We are independent biological entities with the right to take and carry out decisions about ourselves. Imagine yourself being able to enjoy the rest of your days with your loved ones instead of staying on ventilators, being able to die with peace and dignity instead of going through unbearable pain and depression. In conclusion, although objections to euthanasia will remain, legalization of this mercy killing is morally acceptable.